All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to try and get through as many of these as we can, do the best we can with what we have. All right, so I'm going to start off on any problem that you see with a dot next to it means there's something fishy going on with it, and I'll work on this when we get there. But anyway, you take each side to the third power. Why? Because the reciprocal of 1/3 is 3 over 1. So this would be x minus 2 on the left side. The right side is going to be 125, not 15. We're going to add 2 to both sides. I get x is equal to 127. Hooray. Number 2, I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides to begin with. I get 3x to the 4/3 power. That's going to equal 48. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 3. When you do this, you get x to the 4/3 power is equal to 16. Now, there should be a little star next to this one too, because this is a fishy problem. A little circle here, because when we take each side to the 3/4 power, once again, that is the reciprocal of 4/3. This is the same thing as saying this the 4th root of 16 to the 3rd power. Now, you might remember this, you might not. When we had x squared is equal to, let's say, 81. When you square root both sides, what do you get for your solutions? You get positive or minus 9. Okay, and that's what you should get because you're taking the square root. Now, when you're taking an even root, that's when you get 2 solutions, a plus or minus. So that's kind of important here. On the left side, you have x. On the right side, what's the 4th root of 16? If we're taking the even root of each side, there'd be a plus or minus 2 in there. And then we take either of those to the 3rd power, and that's how we get our 2 solutions, which are plus or minus 8. Weird problem? That's why I did it for you. Next up, I'm going to start by adding 5 to both sides. You get 4x to the 3/2 power. That's going to equal 108. Divide both sides by 4. When you do it, you get x to the 3/2 power is going to equal 27. We take each side to the 2/3 power. What do I end up with? I get x is equal to, well, this is the 3rd root, 27. Squared. Well, the 3rd root of 27 is 3. 3 squared is 9. So x equals 9. And that's going to be my solution there. Now, big dog number 4 here. We have the root by itself, so we're going to take both sides and square it just to begin with. The left side is going to be x plus 1. I know that. My right side, I'm going to come down here. X minus 1 times x minus 1. We have to double distribute. X times x minus 1. And then minus 1 times x minus 1. So I get x squared minus 1x minus 1x plus 1. I get x squared minus 2x plus 1. Now, I have to get one side set equal to 0 because whenever you have an x squared, you're going to end up having to factor. So subtract x. This is all part of getting it into standard form. I get 0 is equal to x squared minus 3x. What? Those are gone. 1 minus 1 is 0. So now I'm going to factor. Factor out an x, and you get x minus 3. So I get 2 solutions, x equals 0 and x equals 3. But let's check those real quick and make sure that makes sense. Because if I have the square root of 0 plus 1, is that equal to 0 minus 1? So is the square root of 1 equal to negative 1? No! So 0 doesn't work. All right, but what about the 3? Is the square root of 3 plus 1 the same thing as 3 minus 1? Is the square root of 4 equal to 2? Yes! 3 works. Okay? Should have been had another fishy one there. Now, this one, you might think you need to square both sides, but when in the history of math will you take a square root of something and get a negative number? The answer to that is never. So since you can't take the square root of this and get a negative number ever, you're just going to write no solution. It can't happen. You can't take the square root of something and get a negative number. So if you ever see that, just write no solution. Move on. Go about your day. Enjoy. Do good things in the world. Now, this is the same thing as the square root of x minus 5 equals 0. So I'm going to add 5 to both sides first. This is kind of an easy problem. Square root of x equals 5. Then you're going to square both sides. When you do it, you get x is equal to 25. I almost put 10 there. Holy cow. I'm getting old. All right. Next up, another one where we have to square both sides to start with, and we end up having to factor. All right. So x minus 5 times x minus 5. Hopefully this is getting easier for you. We have x times x minus 5, then negative 5 times x minus 5. I get x squared minus 5x minus 5x plus 25. So my left side is going to be x plus 7. My right side, we've just found out, is x squared minus 10x plus 25. So I'm going to subtract 7 from both sides. I'm also going to subtract x from each side. And I have a problem that I have to factor. X squared minus 11x plus 18. Now, what are two numbers that multiply to a positive 18 and add up to a negative 11? That should be negative 6 and negative 3. So I get two solutions, x minus 6, x minus 3. When you set each of those equal to 0, you get two solutions. You get, oh, not 0 equals, that'd be silly. Eraser. X equals 6, x equals 3. But not so fast there, ladies and gentlemen. We have to test these out to make sure they make sense. So, is the square root of 6 plus 7 the same thing as 6 minus 5? This is something that doesn't make sense. What did I do wrong here? Two numbers multiply to 18. Oh, because they don't add up. Silly me. You don't get those not, that's not, come on. I factored it wrong. Come on, I can do better than that. So I have 0 equal, well, two numbers multiply to 18 and add up to a negative 11. Not negative 6 and negative 3, it'd be negative 9 and negative 2. I know some of you are about to catch me on that, but luckily I caught it myself. This is x minus 9, and then x minus 2. Wow. So, same thing, you set each of them equal to 0. That's what happens when you try and go too fast. Add 9 to both sides, x equals 9. Add 2 to both sides, x equals 2. Sorry about all those people out there that are just copying down random stuff and thinking they know what you're doing. Yeah, I should check my work. So this is 9 plus the square root of 9 plus 7. We're trying to see if each of these solutions are just one of them. This would be 9 minus 5. Is the square root of 16 equal to 4? It sure is. So 9 works. Love that one. That's a good one. Now if we try 2, I have a feeling we're going to have a problem with this. So I'm using the red. So the square root of 2 plus 7. Well, that's fine. You can take that. But what's 2 minus 5? That'd be negative 3. Is the square root of 9 equal to negative 3? No. So this only has one solution, and it's right there. Now on number 8, I'm going to start, since that's by itself, and take each side to the third power. Carefully, this is 2x plus 1. The right side's going to be negative 27, though. So I'm going to subtract 1 from each side. I get 2x is equal to negative 28. Divide both sides by 2, and we get x is equal to negative 14. Life's good. It works. Moving on, I'm going to go ahead and start by adding 2 to both sides on this one. This is 2x to the 1/3 power is equal to 2. Divide both sides by 2. I get x to the 1/3 power is equal to 1. I'm going to take each side and take it to the third power. So I get the lame answer of x equals 1. It's just kind of lame. Then I'm going to square both sides here and here. I get 2x minus 5 is equal to 49. I'm going to add 5 to both sides. I get 2x is equal to 54. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 2. When you get x equals 27. You can't do anything else with that, so you're done. Then, I got a dot next to this one. Must means good stuff. So I have to start by squaring both sides. When you do this, on the left side, you get 2x minus 4. On the right side, since I've already done this twice, I'm just going to write x squared minus 4x plus 4. And that's what you get when you take x minus 2 times x minus 2. If you need help with that, message me. I'll go through it with you. Google Hangouts, by the way. So we're going to subtract 2x from each side, add 4 to both sides. Something's fishy on this one, though. So x squared minus 6x plus 8. Now, what are two numbers? I'm not going to mess this one up. That multiply to 8 and add up to negative 6. That'd be 4 and 2, as long as you make them both negative. So I would have x minus 4 and x minus 2. We're going to check those out and see if they work. So square root of 2 times 4 minus 4, is that equal to 4 minus 2? You should get x equals 4 and x equals 2. So I'm trying out 4 first to see if that's a solution. This would be 8 minus 4 is the square root of 4 equal to 2. Yes, that one works. Hooray, hooray, hooray. Next up, we try 2. 2 times 2 minus 4. That's equal to 2 minus 2. So the square root of 4 minus 4 is 0 equal to 0. Yes! So I get two solutions on that one. Big time. All right, now changing my color. On here, I'm going to go ahead and subtract 6 from each side. I get square root of x is equal to x minus 6. Now, I've put parentheses there because I knew I was going to have to square both sides, which you do. So I get x on the left side, and that's going to equal x squared minus 12x plus 36. And that's just because I took x minus 6 times x minus 6. Hopefully that's okay with you. Now I'm going to subtract x from each side. I get 0 is equal to x squared minus 13x plus 36. Ooh, that's ugly looking 3, but whatever. Two numbers that multiply to 36 and add up to negative 13. That'll be negative 9 and negative 4, I believe. But of course, you know I've been wrong before. X minus 9, x minus 4. So we should get two solutions. I'm going to write them in orange. Why not? X equals 9, x equals 4. Let's see if they're both solutions or not. What is the square root? Square root of 9 plus 6, is that equal to 9? So is it 3 plus 6? Yeah, it's equal to 9. That one works. So way to go, 9. Proud of you. Good work. If we try 4, the square root of 4 plus 6, is that equal to 4? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. 2 plus 6 is not equal to 4, so then 4 is not working out for us. So we get rid of that solution. So only one, just x equals 9. All right, let's see here. I'm going to skip number 13 because we've already done that one, or some similar problems to that before. 14, you're just going to square both sides. These are the easy ones. We get 4x plus 2 is equal to 3x plus 4. We subtract 3x from each side. Get x plus 2 equals 4. Then we're going to subtract 2 from both sides. We get x equals 2. All good things there. All right, so skip number 13. I'll have to remember that. All right, so I'm going to take each side to the second power to get rid of that 1/2. I get 7x minus 3 is equal to 5 squared, which is 25. Then I'm going to add 3 to both sides. 7x is equal to 28. Divide both sides by 7. And you get x equals 4. Done. Now, big problem number 16. Got a dot next to it. Must mean we have to work hard. So I'm going to add 4 to both sides first. This will be x minus 2 to the 2/3 power. And it's going to equal 9. So once again, we have to take each side to the reciprocal power. Now, what's the reciprocal of 2/3? It is 3/2. Just like saying, okay, well, if I have x squared is equal to, let's say, 36, you square root both sides, you get x is equal to plus or minus 6. Here, what we get on the left side is x minus 2. That's not the problem. But since we're square rooting, we're essentially square rooting 9 and then taking it to the third power. So what's the square root of 9? We would say plus or minus 3 and then take that to the third power. So I get x minus 2 is equal to plus or minus 27. Weird problem, I know. So now I'm going to split this up. X minus 2 is going to equal a positive 27, and x minus 2 is going to equal a negative 27. Big issue there. So I'm going to add 2, add 2, add 2, and add 2. And I'm going to get x is equal to 29, and x is equal to negative 25. All right. Both solutions there. Hope I got it right. Let's do a couple more. Now, this one's going to be interesting just for the sheer fact that you haven't seen one like this. Now, square root on each side, we still have to take both sides and square it. That's all you do. Okay, now the right side is the easy part. It's 26 plus x. Make this look like an equal sign. The left side is where it's weird. If I have 4 root x minus 1 squared, 2 root x minus 1 times 2 root x minus 1, the 2 times 2 gives you 4. This times this, root x minus 1 times root x minus 1 gives you x minus 1. So that's what the first step is going to look like after you square both sides. Now, after that, I'm going to go ahead and distribute the 4, so I get 4x minus 4 is equal to 26 plus x. I'm going to subtract x from each side and get 3x minus 4 equals 26. I'm going to add 4 to both sides. Get 3x equals 30. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 3. Get x equals 10. All right. Now, number 18, the first thing I'm going to do is divide both sides by 2. I get x to the 3/4 power is equal to 8. Then I have to take both sides, ladies and gentlemen, to the 4/3 power. 4/3 power. So that means I get x on the left side. My right side, however, that's kind of weird. It's like the third root of 8 to the fourth power. Now, the third root of 8 is 2. 2 to the fourth power is 16. So that's going to be your answer there. Now, I didn't do any plus or minus there because we're taking the third root. All right? Third root, we don't have to worry about signs. It's only an even root is what we have to do with that.